It's season review time, and tonight we're doing the Bombrays. The mighty Bombers finished 8th, playing finals, of course, under Ben Rutten, who was in charge. 11 wins, 11 losses. Jimmy, coming in, Jake Kelly from the Adelaide Crows. Nice little in for their defence. No names of note coming out. They have a reasonably good draft team. Pick 11, 51, 56, 87. So just the one up top. I'll start with your green light, please.
Green light.
Well, if people are unaware, we borrowed that from Squid Game, which has taken over from Netflix and the world, really. And the green light for me is Darcy Parish. Absolutely dominant this year. He emerged from being an outside midfielder, stuck a little bit at half forward, out on the wing. And you know where he can play? Inside mid, because that's where he got drafted. Averaged 30 and a half touches, won every single medal, Anzac Day medal, this medal, that medal, Farmers Union medal in the country game, hay bale medal. He won it all. He was fantastic. When he kicked goals, had big possession games. He went over 40 a number of times. He was absolutely fantastic. He was green light, but my...
Red light.
Red light. Red light snuck up on us there. He was very scary. Very scary. It's frightening. Red
So
light.
this is your negative, your red light,
Well, not necessarily. Well,
or just a watch?
I tend to lean on players who never really got going. And Michael Hurley, for me, experienced defender. Obviously, they've got a lot of young emerging players there at the Bombers. They're building some really good depth. We probably haven't seen one of their better draft picks in young Reed, who's 200 centimetres tall, beautiful kick of the footy.
Centre half back.
Yep. But can play a little bit higher up the ground as well because he's pretty agile. But you need senior players around him, and that's why Cale Hooker has been so important for the Bombers going forward and back. So Michael Hurley, I'd love to see him back playing footy. A very good player, intercepts the ball and sets them up really well. So he was my red light because of injuries.
3 key questions heading into 2022, Jimmy. Will they finally break through and win a final, the Bombers, do you think?
I think they have potential to. The fact that they got a taste of it last year was really good. They got some experience. You add some more games to these young players coming through. They need a bit more luck with some injuries. I mentioned with Hurley, you need Jai Caldwell to play a full season. Obviously, get another 20 games into Nick Cox and these sort of guys. So they also need the players who took a step to maintain that level and get better. So 2 metre Peter, who started to emerge, get a bit more confidence, had a big game. They need narrow the gap between their really good and their average games, and they'll potentially win a final.
They don't want for much, do they, really, if you look at their list? I mean, McDonald, Tip and Woody, losing him for the final series was a big blow. They get a small forward. I think they were after Stengel, who ended up going to Geelong. So, if McDonald, Tip and Woody can get back on the park, and they really missed him. But apart from that, I mean, they've got a gun ruckman. They've got
so good.
They've got a good forward line, as you said, with Peter Wright, a good defence and great midfielders. So they don't really want... I mean, if you're their list manager, what else do they need?
They need time, really. You throw in Harrison Jones, who we saw glimpses at, but he's still young and still, filling out his body as well. We mentioned the midfield; it's still young. So I think they just need time, but they're getting depth on their list. But it raises an interesting question about what you do with Dylan Shield. We know he can win a lot of the footy, and his ball use has been questioned a little bit. But if Jai Caldwell comes in, we all know it's Merritt and Parish.
Yep.
And then Stringer comes in and does the centre bounce, charges forward. Who's another one? Like, where does he play? Does he have to learn to play on the wing for you? Does he have to go to half forward and push up? As we see a lot of midfielders do. It's interesting what other string he could add to his bow.
And Jai Caldwell had a good final as well. I mean, if he can get his body right and play regular footy, he could be a big one. Is Jake Stringer, now this has been a big debate within Bomberland and Bomber supporters, Jake Stringer, is he their most important player, do you think?
Well, he still is at the moment because he hits the scoreboard. So Darcy Parish averaged 30 touches a game but kicked 10 goals. And Zach Merritt didn't kick a lot of goals. Until those mids actually push forward and hit the scoreboard, Stringer becomes that forward half damaging player that all the good sides have. They come up, they can win a clearance, they hit the scoreboard at big times, they can rest forward. So he is still so important to him, to the Bombers, Stringer.
It's going to be interesting with Stringer because, it was a penny drop year for him, wasn't it, in terms of numbers?
Got fit.
He got fit. I think he lost 8 kilos to get into the best condition of his career. But there was a little bit when Essendon were looking to re-sign him, he wanted more money and maybe longer terms. There was sort of this talk that, is he always really good in the last year of a contract? Is he the sort of player that you have to dangle a little carrot? So it'll be interesting to see whether he can back that up 2 years in a row. I mean, he was outstanding this year.
Yeah, I couldn't agree anymore. I mean, you hope he enjoys being that quality player. Like, he doesn't feel like, I need to drop back and, just rest on my laurels. Fingers crossed he's turned the corner. But here's my opportunity now, Matty, to turn it back on.
Come at me.
Come at me. So I like to play a little bit of unders and overs.
Yep.
You pick a line. So, where the line's set, there's always a half. You go either side of that. So I want to hear, as we mentioned, Essendon, 11 wins, 11 losses, played finals. I've set the line at 12.5 wins. So 13 will be an over.
I'm going to go just under. I think they'll finish around the same, 11 and a half, 12.
Sneak into the 8 again.
Just sneak into the 8.
Okay, fair enough. We mentioned Jake Stringer. He kicked 41 goals, but I've highlighted somebody else. 2 metre Peter kicked 7 in one game, and he finished with 29 for the year in 21 games. I've set his line at 30 and a half, so 31.
So what did he kick this year?
29 in 21 games, and he kicked 7 of those in one game.
He sort of grew in confidence as the year unfolded, didn't he? So I'm going to say over. I'm going to say that he finished the year full of confidence, and I think he can go better. Maybe not much better, but certainly over 30.
Yep. Darcy Parish picked up a bar fridge in every game, a couch and the pizza award.
Batocchi ham?
Yeah, the Batocchi ham. He polled 26 Brownlow votes. A number of years you would have won the Brownlow with 26 votes, but there were so many guys over 30. I've set his line at 19 and a half votes in the Brownlow. Does he get 20?
He'll do that easy. He will do that easily, Jimmy. These midfielders, Darcy Parish and these players that are around the ball, they get, as you said, they get unbelievable numbers. So the umpires just vote for them. And if they win, if they make the 8 again, he's going to get, I reckon he'll get 25, 26 votes again. He'll easily surpass 20 because he gets numbers sometimes of 40. He hits the scoreboard a little bit. I'd like to see him hit the scoreboard a bit more. If he can do that, kick some goals, he could win the Brownlow. He's that sort of player, I reckon, Darcy Parish.
So do you want to revisit your under and overs then? Because you've got 2 metre Peter kicking more than 30 goals and you've got Darcy Parish potentially winning a Brownlow, but you still got him on the same amount of wins.
So what did I say?
You said...
I said 12 wins.
I'm good at seeing these lines.
So, okay, so if they get 13 wins, where are they finishing? They're finishing around 6th, are they?
Yep.
Around there? Yeah, I'll say just on the line, 13.
Well, you're over. The line's 12 and a half.
Okay. I'll say over. 13, I think 13 wins with with Peter Wright to kick over 30 and Darcy Parish. I'm not going to say he's going to win it, but he'll be right in the thick of it on Brownlow Medal night.
There we go.
What do you think? What do you think, Jimmy?
I think they got 13 wins in them. I think he'll be right around that line because I think the opposition will put a bit more time in him, but I think he'll get greater support from others. So the old sharing of the votes thing. And I think with their improvement, they need another 30-plus goal kicker, and I think it's made for 2 metre Peter.
Do you think, is there a danger Essendon, after a good year, making finals go backwards? Are they that young, do you think, or do you think they're just on the up?
Well, I think the carrot's there. You haven't won the final. So it's what Big Truck Rutten can say to them. Yes, we made improvement, but we haven't improved enough. So there's that next stage, that next level.
And they were great to watch, weren't they? Entertaining team to watch.
Exciting. They played they was involved in some great games this year where they opened up and played the game. Probably for them is just when the opposition opens them up a little bit, how to slow that down. That's the next stage for them, just closing down that team defence. But I've seen they want to defend really high, which is the modern way, forward half turnovers. They're trying to do that. So another year together as a collective, you can tighten that up and it saves you a goal a quarter.
So there we go. There is the Bombers heading into season 2022. We're both saying they could win a final, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep. So we both think that they'll finally break through and win a final, but that's about it. But they'll be on the up, the Bombers, in 2022. More Sports Day coming up after the break.